Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're looking into the story of Esther, and specifically an excerpt called Esther's Courage. It frames her story as something shared with a child.
Yeah. And our goal here, I think, is to dig a bit deeper than just the basic story.
Exactly. We want to get at the core message, especially as presented in this dialogue format. What does it really mean to be courageous based on, well, your beliefs, even when you're scared?
And that fear aspect jumps out immediately, doesn't it? The child asks Jesus, how did Esther save her people? Wasn't she scared?
It's such a human question, so direct. It doesn't paint Esther as like superhuman or fearless from the start.
No, not at all. And the response given, she was little one, but she prayed and trusted God. That's really central.
Right. It directly connects her bravery to her faith, not feeling fear.
Yeah, it suggests that trust, that active praying, was the foundation for her action. It wasn't just passive belief. It sounds like it gave her strength, a sense of purpose, maybe.
Definitely. That makes sense. You could almost see it even outside a purely faith context as a kind of psychological anchor, perhaps.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, like having a really strong internal conviction, whatever the source, gives you the backbone to act against that fear.
Like a solid place to stand when everything else is shaking,
Exactly.
And then there's that direct encouragement. Yes, when something's right, speak up and God will guide you. That shifts it from just her story to, well, us.
It becomes a practical takeaway, a lesson.
How often do we feel that little nudge that something needs saying, but we hold back, fear of what might happen?
All the time, probably. And the simplicity there is striking. It's not saying be reckless, but align your voice with what feels right.
And the idea of guidance, whether you see that as divine or just like following your own moral compass, it offers some reassurance, doesn't it?
It does. It suggests you're not entirely alone in that moment of speaking up.
Then the child makes it super concrete, like telling the truth, even if it's hard. That really brings it down to earth.
Yeah. It does. And the answer, exactly. God loves your brave heart. It connects those huge historical acts of courage with the small, everyday choices.
Like choosing honesty when it's maybe easier not to.
Right. And what's compelling there is the focus isn't just on the result. I mean, Esther did save her people, but on the intention, the brave heart behind it.
So the effort, the internal struggle, the choosing to act rightly, that has value in itself.
That seems to be the message here,
Yeah.
Even if the outcome isn't immediately clear or successful, the act of trying, of being brave in your conviction matters.
Okay, so pulling this all together, this telling of Esther's story really emphasizes that courage isn't about not having fear.
No, it's about choosing to act anyway, based on your beliefs, your convictions.
Yeah.
Often, as shown here, supported by faith or some deep inner resource.
It's about finding your voice, whether it's a big public stand or just a quiet, difficult conversation, when something feels right.
It's about that alignment.
So summarizing, the key takeaway is really about courage being rooted in conviction and faith, enabling action despite fear. It applies from huge historical moments right down to our daily lives.
Definitely. Which leads us to a final thought for everyone listening.
Go for it.
Think about a time you faced something difficult.
Yeah.
A time you were maybe afraid to speak up or act on a belief.
Okay.
Now, considering what we've discussed from Esther's story, that inner conviction, maybe finding strengths from somewhere beyond just yourself, and the value placed on simply having a brave heart.
Right.
How might thinking about those elements change how you approach a similar situation next time?
That's a good question to ponder. It's not about suddenly becoming fearless, is it?
Not at all.
Wow.
It's more like seeing courage as something you choose to do, a muscle you exercise, maybe, not just a trait you either have or don't.
A conscious choice. Well, that gives us something to think about. Thanks for this deep dive.
My pleasure. It's a powerful story.